Let's meditate. Let's meditate on the cross. Before we start our meditation, find a place that is comfortable to you. Sit in a posture that is comfortable to you. Take a deep breath. Inhale and exhale. Take some good deep breaths. Now, just make your mind more focused, clear of any anxiety, any turbulence, just making it more focused. We are not going to focus on our breath, but we are going to focus on a real person. We are going to focus on a real incident. We are going to focus on cross. How, why this cross is going to heal your inner man. We are going to meditate this. Let's meditate on the cross. Cross is a symbol of love. Cross is a symbol of sacrifice. Cross is a symbol of victory. Cross is a symbol of will of God. Cross is a symbol of restoration. Cross is a symbol of obedience. Cross is a symbol of responsibility. Jesus did not carry the cross only just before the crucifixion, but he has been carrying the cross throughout his life. When people mocked at him in his childhood, he learned to carry the cross. When people mocked at his birth, he had learned to carry the cross. When he was directed to submit to his parents, who are far below his spiritual standards, he had learned to walk carrying the cross. When God the Father directed him to stand in the line of sinners, he was carrying the cross. Even then, when people tried to find fault in all his good deeds and even in his words, he was carrying the cross. He had learned the obedience. Though he is the Creator, he humbled himself to be a servant. Though he is the King of Kings and Lord of Lords, he carried the real cross. When the same crowd who exalted him a day before and immediately shouting now to crucify him, he bore the cross. When Judas Iscariot had betrayed him only for 30 silver coins. He was mocked, humiliated, and degraded before everyone for no reason. He had decided to carry this cross. His back was plowed with whips. He was beaten so hard that even his bones were displaced. He had lost blood and strength with this severe physical abuse. The never-ending physical agony evaporated all his strength. He carried the cross that was heavier than him. He fell flat in the midst of mocking, screaming, laughing, and crying crowd. Not just once, but he fell flat thrice. His body was exhausted. His legs were shaky. His eyesight started to become dull. With the relentless whipping on his back, he was treated as an animal, not as a human. Unreasonable enmity killed the humanity in them. How his robe turned red with his blood and is now sticking to his body as the blood dries up. He embraced the cross and never tried to escape from it. He was carrying the cross with passion, with love, and with satisfaction. He was stripped naked. Parts of his flesh come off as they pulled his robe. The man who created this entire universe, the man who has given clothes to the mankind to hide their nudity, is now pulled off all his clothes and is made nude in front of everyone. They put lots to share his clothes in front of his own eyes. His hands were nailed. The very hands that created man now are nailed for the sins of man. His legs were nailed too, for we have strayed and walked away from God. Behold, here he is hanging naked, exhausted, thirsty, helplessly, in the midst of desperate people, and mocking, laughing, and crying crowd. The crowd was filled with vengeance, jealousy, and hate. He looked around and looked everyone and looked himself. He was satisfied for his sacrificial love. He knew this cross is going to change the direction of history of mankind. He knew he has fulfilled the purpose for what he has come. He sighed in satisfaction. He knew he has pleased the Father. Then he said his last words, "It is completed." The great problem is now resolved. They pierced on his side to check whether he is alive or dead. Blood and water has come from his body. There's no blood left in his body. He shed even the last drops of blood. Satan was defeated. The cunning, cruel, crafty plan that he played to kill him now has boomeranged on him. The life of this world is now entered into the death. Light entered into the darkness. Jesus defeated Satan and crushed his head completely. Cross is the symbol of eternal victory.